All right, so folks, we've been talking about this People's Party drama. It's drama, right? Like, that's what this is. This is drama. So I haven't seen this yet. This was airing yesterday, and some people came into my live stream yesterday and told me to watch it. And I decided, might as well watch it on stream, right? That way I don't have to watch it twice, right? So save, So here I am. Status Coup had an interview with Nick Brana. Now, Status Coup has been releasing these reports about internal problems in the People's Party. I've made other videos about the reports themselves. So go check those videos out if you're new to this, if you want a primer so you can watch this whole saga unfold in the same way that we have. But either way, Nick Brana has joined Status Coup. I don't quite know exactly. Okay, so Jordan Chariton is going to read the statement then, and then bring Nick Brana on. So I guess that's worth playing, so we get the full context here. But I'm going to put this on I'm going to put this on 2x speed until Nick Brana comes on.
On Wednesday, in response to an allegation of sexual harassment by a subordinate at the People's Party. I think it's important to read. It's a long statement, but I'm going to read the full thing just so you can have the context if you haven't read it. The headline, because this was on their website, is People's Party Blocks Liberal Takeover Attempt, an address to our members by Nick Brana, the chair of People's Party. My friends, I have been accused of sexual harassment. These allegations are false and politically motivated. There is no evidence to substantiate them. In fact, following...
Can we be again, I just want to be very clear. Nick Brana, when he uses the term liberal, he doesn't mean that half the party believes in capitalism, or like they believe in war, or they believe that like poor people deserve to suffer. That's not what he means by liberal. He doesn't mean that they are liberals in political beliefs. He is referring to anyone who disagrees with him on vaccines as liberal. There was a big debate in the People's Party about whether or not the People's Party itself should come out with a message against vaccines. And there was a bunch of people that were like, no, that's fucking crazy. And so Nick Brana referred to them as liberals and banned them from the party. And again, they were also in the middle of investigating him for sexual assault as well. But again, when he says liberal here, he does not mean like their ideology is liberal. But why would liberals be in the People's Party? What he means is people that believe in vaccines. So got to be very clear on that. And again, if you want more evidence of that, watch my streams from the other day.
When a thorough investigation, my accuser admitted that there was no evidence to substantiate them. We had been in a consensual relationship that she had initiated. The accuser made allegations against me to the board in December, 1 week before the start of the National Organizing Committee. Immediately, there were red flags. Mixed in with the allegations were demands for professional advancement and veiled threats to the board that she could go public and attempt to destroy the party if her demands weren't met. When she made these serious accusations, the board acted immediately and appointed a committee of 3 board members to investigate. After taking written statements, interviewing both of us separately, and examining the evidence, the committee concluded that the allegations did not have merit and were a politically motivated attempt to remove me. They discovered that the 2 board members who had confided to others that they had long sought to remove me and take my position had orchestrated the allegations with the accuser and a contractor.
So real quick, it's a political party. If people don't like your leadership, they are free to not want you be their leader. Now, again, they can still believe in the People's Party and they want to, work at it. Like, this isn't Nick Brana's party. This isn't the person's party. This is the People's Party, right? So if people don't like the way the leadership is, they have every right to say, I don't want you as a leader. That doesn't make them a liberal Democrat plant trying to destroy, it's a political party. There are people in the Democratic Party that don't like Nancy Pelosi. Does that make them Republican plants or something? What?
Anyone had investigated the veracity of her allegations, they treated them as a foregone conclusion and personally called and lobbied every member of the board to remove me, the first democratically elected chair of this party, whom you, the membership, chose. Instead of running against me in the last year's interim chair election of this year's National Committee chair election, they tried to remove me through false allegations. The People Party is a populist party. These board members wanted to convert it into a more liberal and woke party. They had already begun
Again, what they mean by liberal and woke. Woke means in favor of vaccines. I need you to understand. Watch my previous streams that has all that whole stuff. But he doesn't mean woke as in everyone wants to teach 4th graders critical race theory. He doesn't mean woke as in everyone needs to have green and blue hair and be transgender. That's not when he says liberal and woke, he literally just means they disagree with me on vaccines. Nick Brana's anti-vax, the other people were pro-vax. That's what that means. But again, he's using these right-wing terms like woke. Who uses the term who uses the term woke besides right-wing hacks like Republicans? Sometimes corporate Democrats. Who the fuck uses the term woke? What does woke mean? Again, this is just silly. I mean, like, but it's going to get a lot worse because Nick Brana, again, is coming on this program and it's going to be great, so.
Orienting the party's message away from economic populism and towards identity politics, a transformation that alarmed many volunteers. They were supported by...
Again, identity politics. What does identity politics mean? A couple of people might have been like, oh, we should have like a black outreach team. Pfft, identity politics. That's identity politics. What? What is identity politics? What the fuck does that mean? Seriously.
Contractors who abused their positions of authority in the party to attack our own volunteers, delegates, and even Ralph Nader, who spoke at the opening meeting of the National Organizing Committee as sexist, racist, and white supremacists for seeking to build class solidarity. The liberal faction opposed allowing our membership to democratically decide the party's position on COVID vaccine mandates, going as far as attempting to shut down a party-wide vote and censor and cancel volunteers who discussed it in Slack. They even...
How censor and cancel? What? Okay, so firing half the board, that is not censoring, that is not canceling. That's fine. But disagreeing with someone and debating it on a Zoom call, that's censoring and that's canceling. I'm sorry, but like what? Like, what? Okay, how can you spin Nick Brana banning half the board? Half the board was banned. And now Nick Brana's the one being canceled and censored. Nick Brana's being censored. Yeah, he just banned half the people on the board, but he's being censored. What? What?
Responded to Rodrigo's personal story of suffering a vaccine injury. Rodrigo is his father, Nick's father. Bell's palsy, by alleging that it hadn't actually happened. They sought to replace our universalist message of healthcare, college, and housing for all with partitioned messages for different identity groups, a staple of Democratic Party campaigns. They were fundamentally reorienting the party away from...
with partitioned messages for different identity groups, aka voter outreach? What does that mean, different identity groups? Wouldn't you want to have voter outreach? Wouldn't you want people, to like go into the black community and speak to them on their issues like reparations and so forth? Or that's woke. That's identity politics. You're trying to win as a third party. And you don't think you should have individual outreach for different communities? What? What?
From its populist mission of uniting the left and right against the establishment, a mission they derided as building a, quote, red-brown alliance and economic reductionism. Hold on. Sorry that this is long, but in fairness, I'm going to read the whole thing. This group of board members also sought to remove any and all accountability from paid contractors. Paula Jean Swearingen was hired as our West Virginia State Director, but failed to bring in a single volunteer National Organizing Committee delegate during her 6 months with the party. Sabrina Pena Young.
So now they're going after Paula Jean. I mean, I told you this when I covered Paula Jean's like weird defection tour 6 months ago, I guess it was. Remember with the ketchup packets when she was like drunk and tweeting at 4 a.m. like really weird stuff, right? Like that was great. I covered the fuck out of that. It was so funny. And then she went all in on People's Party. And now the People's Party is like, hey, I mean, I don't know. Paula Jean Swearingen maybe didn't knock down the house that she wanted to, but she knocked down the house, all right, let me tell you.
Young represented herself as a populist when she was interviewed for our communications director position, but promoted a liberal message after being hired. Sabrina's woke attacks on many of us were so abrasive that dozens of grievances were filed against her, more than everyone else in the party combined.
What is a woke attack? Sabrina's woke attacks. What is a woke attack? Is this like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh or something? Is this fucking Pokemon? Is Charmander going to use woke? What is a woke attack? What is that?
A petition with dozens of signatures demanding that she be dismissed. Despite their failure to meet basic contractual responsibilities and their hostility to volunteers, the minority board members protected them from so much as a reprimand, a dereliction of fiduciary and ethical duty in managing these paid contractors. Almost done. Other members of the board and I were told that any attempt to intervene in the hijacking of the party's message and purpose, including holding a party-wide vote on vaccine mandates, would be construed as, quote, retaliation against the accuser in further acts of collusion between her and those on the board. When the hostile members of the board and contractors realized that the investigation was not going their way, they encouraged the accuser to escalate her claims. The accuser's original complaint had not even used the words, quote, sexual harassment, but they told her to allege rape. This shocked the investigative committee, and one of the members later told me, every time I spoke with her, I got a different story. Every time I spoke with you, I heard the same thing. Another member of the investigative committee put a list of dozens of inconsistencies between her accounts. The original investigation was supposed to last about a week, but because it had not arrived at the predetermined conclusion sought by the hostile board members, they prolonged it week after week for 2 months, pressuring committee members to alter their conclusions, attempting to censor and expel committee members who objected to the political motive.
We're skipping to Brana. I'm bored. Alright, folks. So this is Jordan Chariton v. Nick Brana.
Form this country. So that is Nick Brana's full statement. There you are. Hey, Nick.
Hi, Jordan.
I planned on reading the statement with you while you were here, but that's okay. That you were a few minutes late. So Nick Brana, national chair of the People's Party.
I love that. I don't know if that's on purpose. If Jordan Chariton is trying to be like a little passive aggressive, but I'm just gonna go for it. Like, that's funny. Like, oh yeah, I was gonna read the statement with you on here, but you were late, so... But it's all good, it's all... No, but, I'm just gonna say that you were a little late, you're a little tardy, but, okay.
Party joining me. Obviously, I've done some reporting with Status Coup on you this week, so I'm glad you could join me to discuss all of this. I read your full statement, so if people didn't read the statement, now you know what Nick wrote on, what was that, Wednesday, a couple days ago. So I want to start with just kind of a couple baselines here. Can you confirm that an internal investigation at MPP was launched in December after a subordinate that you said you have said you're in were in a relationship with had made an allegation?
This is a part of a much wider and longer standing campaign to reorganize.
Okay, so he's not answering the first question. Okay, the first question is very simple. Did the investigation start in December, yes or no? Well, actually, you see, the Liberal Democrats, no, I don't mean the UK political party, but the Liberal Democrats in the People's Party who believe in vaccines, they were woking me, and then I woke up, and then but then I fell asleep, and then they woke me again, and really, it's a part of it's a broader issue with the wokes.
That's not what I'm asking. Oh. I'm asking you, can you...
I'm saying, okay. I love how I called that out instantly. Okay. Let's do it again.
Or a subordinate that you said you have said you're in were in a relationship with had made an allegation?
This is a part of a much wider and longer standing campaign to reorient the party.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you, can you confirm that
there was. And I'd like to begin, Jordan, as well, by saying, can you confirm the conflicts of interest that you've had in covering this story that you haven't so far?
So, Nick,
No.
Nick Brana, no. Okay, now it's getting juicy. So Nick Brana, let's be honest, Nick Brana came out the gate swinging, which, as a strategy, I'm sorry, I'm drinking seltzer. As a strategy, okay, this is like a strategical move, right? He didn't go on Jordan Chariton's show to like give an interview and then the interview got a little weird, right? Nick Brana is coming out the gate swinging. He's just going like, nah, I'm going on here. You're a hostile actor. We're debating. I'm going to get clips that I can post on Twitter and use for fundraising. Then I'm going to go on the Jimmy Dore show again and talk about how you attacked me or you were trying to, or I stood up to the liberal smear. Right? This is the strategy. I guarantee you. He is going to be crying over to Jackson Hinkle. He's going to be crying over to Jimmy Dore. Oh, please give me another interview. Please give me another. Look. I stood up to the liberals. Please, I need to fundraise. I want more money. I guarantee you. And of course, I'm going to watch those streams and comment on them. But anyway, let's continue. I'm just telling you, he is setting himself up for that and or has already set himself up for that. I'm not sure if that already happened. DJ Elf is telling me that he did run to another show. That's incredible. What is Sabby Sabs and started crying? I don't know what Sabby Sabs is, but I'm getting some live reports that my prediction is exactly correct.
So Nick,
of the accuser.
So Nick, you're not going to filibuster. So if you're not,
So Nick Brana is alleging that Jordan Chariton is a friend of the accuser, which and then Jordan's just like, you're not gonna filibuster. I'm trying to interview you. We're not debating. Right? What are we debating? There is no debate. I'm just asking you fucking questions. All right.
So Nick, of the accuser.
So Nick, you're not going to filibuster. So if you're not going to,
I just gotta say, like, I'm on Jordan Chariton's side here. I think he's handling this really well. I'm just saying, like,
answer the question.
People have their own opinions about Jordan. I understand. We don't agree on everything. Blah blah blah. But in this video, he's doing a good job.
Jordan,
And you're going to try
are
to
you a
deflect?
personal friend of the accuser or not?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
I've
are.
lit-
That
I've
is a
literally-
lie. That is a lie. Jordan, have you been accused of your own allegation that was
Nick,
false?
Nick, are you going to deflect?
That
Or
you're
you're
claiming to.
going to answer questions?
I am asking you.
No. Nick,
have you
Nick,
reported
Nick,
your
you're not
conflicts
the
of interest?
journalist. I'm
You
a
have not
journalist.
reported your conflicts of interest.
I'm not
yet.
a friend with the accuser, and you're trying to deflect. So
Jordan,
if you're going,
you are
excuse me,
the
excuse me.
well,
I am
what's the
no.
embodiment of a
This is
glass
not your
house
show.
on this
This is
issue?
not your show. So if you're
And you
going
have
to
just
try and
lied to your membership.
if you're
To
going
your
to deflect,
viewership right now about being a personal friend of the accuser.
I'm not a personal
You're
friend
not
of the
disclosing
accuser.
your
I have
relationship
literally
with
met
the accuser.
I have literally met
False.
the woman who accused you twice in my life.
False.
One was at an
That's
event.
not what
You
she
guys,
says.
that's not what she
What? Okay, all right. So let's just. Okay, so Nick Brana is alleging that he didn't do anything wrong because there's no evidence. So what he's going to do is he's going to poison the well and muddy the waters, and just like throw out a bunch of other things that also have no evidence. Now, as a rhetorical strategy, right? Now, keep in mind the average IQ. The average IQ for some of these folks, let's be honest.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Let's be honest. The average IQ of People's Party viewers, not that bright, right? So he's going to go on there. He's going to just like throw a bunch of fucking gish gallop all over the fucking place. And again, he's going on there to stand up to the liberals. That's what's happening. Okay? Like he's trying to like, this is another fundraising moment. He's going to be referencing the status quo interview. It's going to become part of the People's Party mythology. I guarantee it. It's going to become part of the mythology of the People's Party. Oh, when Nick stood up to the liberals who were in cahoots with each other. Right? Like, you need to... Like, this is all part of the fundraising scheme and to build up their own alternate world.
he says.
Correct.
So are you going actually to answer my questions, or you're just going to try and
I
deflect?
will. I just want your viewership and you to disclose the conflicts of interest that you
So
have
Nick,
in this
I have
story.
no conflicts of interest, none.
And perhaps why
Do you have evidence of my,
dogged in this.
excuse me? Do you have evidence of conflicts of interest?
What she told me. Correct.
When did she tell you this?
She told me this in the fall of this year and in
Yeah.
the summer of last year. The fall of last year.
The fall of this year. Yes, she told me she's actually a time travel and or I'm a time she's actually a time traveler and or I'm a time traveler. In the next 8 months, she's going to be telling me this information. It hasn't happened for anyone else yet, but me. I'm traveling through to obviously he misspoke. But okay, so again, just as much evidence as you're like alleging should be thrown out because but it's a strategy. This is all a rhetorical strategy, right? Like he came in here with prepared talking points, things that he knows are vague enough to like cleave at, and then he's going to be referencing the status quo interview is going to be part of the mythology.
This.
She told me this in the fall of this year and in
Yeah.
the summer of last year. The fall of last year and the summer of last year.
Through writing, through smoke signal. How did she tell you this?
She told it to me in numerous conversations.
Okay. So I get your playbook. So can I
No.
start? Can I start asking
That's
questions
a rather
or no?
material part of this.
Can
isn't
I
it?
start asking questions or no?
It is.
Okay. Because this isn't Jimmy's show, so there will be no softballs.
Have
So,
you disclosed that you've attacked us previously at the People's Party and me in particular?
How so?
That you try.
You attacked us.
tried
Yo, okay, this is the thumbnail. This is it. Hold up. This is the thumbnail. This is too good. That's too good. Okay, Nick Brana, have you disclosed that you attacked me? Like, attacked? Like, attacked? Like, physically? Like, what do you mean attacked? Like, is this a woke attack? Like, is this quick attack? Are you a fucking Pidgeot? Like, what is this attack? Like, who uses this kind of language? Like, this is like a baby, like, talking on, like, a fucking video game forum in, like, 2004. Where, like, you attacked me! Like, what? Who talks like this? This guy is not a real person. I love Jordan's reaction here. Okay. Also, we also need to talk about this. The way that Jordan goes after Jimmy Dore here is great. Like, I mean, this is good. I'm into this. I'm into this. This is really good, and we're not even like halfway through, so we got a lot of time left here.
Okay, because this isn't Jimmy's show, so there will be no softballs.
Have you disclosed that you've attacked us previously at the People's Party, and me in particular?
How so?
That you wrote an article that stated that I was not a part of our revolution, that I was in fact not employed at our revolution. Are you affirming or denying that?
I've read a lot of articles. You'd have to gin up my memory.
I think you know exactly which one I'm talking about.
Hey, Nick, can you confirm that I covered
I have a W-2s at our revolution, and yet you said I wasn't employed there. This isn't your first time attacking the People's Party, Jordan.
Nick, I'll end the interview. I'll end the interview if you're not going to answer any questions and just read.
That's up to you. I just want your viewers.
Are you going to?
Okay, this is great.
You said I wasn't employed there. This isn't your first time attacking the People's Party, Jordan.
Nick, I'll end the interview. I'll end the interview if you're not going to answer any questions and just read.
That's up to you.
So, okay. He calls him out for just reading a script. Like, because that's what he is. Look at Nick Brana's, like, eyeballs. You can see him, like, he's not really, like, he's staring at something very intently. He's reading a fucking script. And it's great. It's great.
W-2s at our revolution, and yet you said I wasn't employed there. This isn't your first time attacking the People's Party, Jordan.
Nick, I'll end the interview. I'll end the interview if you're not going to answer any questions and just read.
That's up to you. I just want your viewers.
Are you going to answer questions? Are you going to answer any questions or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I'm happy to, because there's nothing here in the investigation clearing.
No, based on the record sources, including people who were investigating you.
Have you talked to the other two investigators at the beginning who submitted their conclusions? No, you have not. You should probably reach out to them. I'll put you in touch with them.
Okay. Nick, I'm going to have to start muting you if you're not going to let me ask questions.
Of course. Just making your viewers aware.
Okay. So now that my viewers are aware that Nick Brana says I'm friends with his accuser and that I hate the People's Party, even though I've covered multiple People's Party events, in-person, conferences, we've established that. Okay.
Is it true that you reported that I was a part of our revolution or not?
I don't know what you're talking about, Nick. And stop deflecting. I'm not playing your game. And I know you've been lawyered up to say this shit. It ain't going to work. So I'm going to start answering my questions, asking questions.
I hope you will.
If you don't want to answer, we'll go from there. So
yeah, I hope you will.
I hope you will. What does that mean? I hope you will. What? What? I'm not gonna play your game. Does he hope that he will play his game? Or was it like, I'm gonna start asking questions? I hope you will ask questions? He's been trying to ask, but what does that mean? I hope you will. Like, I'm gonna scroll back. I hope he will what? Hope you will what?
Conferences. We've established that. Okay.
Is it true that you reported that I was a part of our revolution or not?
I don't know what you're talking about, Nick. And stop deflecting. I'm not playing your game. And I know you've been lawyered up to say this shit. It ain't going to work. So I'm going to start answering my questions, asking questions.
I hope you will.
If you don't want to answer,
I hope you will. So I guess it's, I hope you will start asking questions. I guess I hope you will too. Let me just put it this. I agree with Nick Brana. I hope Jordan Chariton will ask questions. I'm looking forward to that.
We'll go from there. So
yeah, I hope you will.
Nick, in your statement, you said that, let me get the statement here. In your statement, you said, quote, when she made these serious accusations, the board acted immediately and appointed a committee of 3 board members to investigate. After taking written statements, interviewing both of us separately, and examining evidence, the committee concluded that the allegations did not have merit and were a politically motivated attempt to remove me. They discovered that 2 board members who had confided to others that they had long sought to remove me and take my position had orchestrated the allegation with the accuser and contractor. So in your statement, you said that there was 3 board members who were part of a special committee investigating you. I have two board members, as well as another source, saying that later on, a 4th person was added to the special investigative committee, Todd Gillen. So why does your statement say there was 3 people investigating you when there was 4?
Because you said it originally. There were 3 to begin with. Have you talked to the other 2?
Excuse me. I, in my reporting, said a 4th was added later. So why does your statement say that there was only 3 MPP board members?
There were 3 originally. The investigation concluded, and the partial board...
Nick, wait.
Hold on, you want an answer or you don't want an answer?
You're not answering. You're not answering.
No, yes, I am. You just don't.
It's a very simple question. There were 4 people investigating you. Why did your statement only say 3? Yes, there were 3 originally. Like, your statement doesn't say originally. That's new information from Nick Brana now, right? But it's like, why? This is so good. Okay.
Your public statement said there was 3 board members investigating.
Correct.
Was there a 4th later added?
I was just answering your question. You want the answer or not?
Go.
Excellent. There was a 4th added after it had already submitted its conclusions. And the reason that 4th was added was for the broader politically motivated attempt to replace me, shift the party's message from populism to liberalism, and
Again, what liberalism, the other part of the party are not capitalists. They are not Nancy Pelosi, like, oh, insider trading is good, actually. Like, oh, like, let's continue bombing the Middle East. Oh, well, how are we going to afford to pay for this? Like, they're not liberals. They're not like, but how Medicare for all? But what about, a public option? Again, when he says the word liberal, he's not talking about those kind of people. He's talking about regular people, anti-capitalists that are pro-vaccine. He is not talking about liberals. He is talking anyone that disagrees with me on vaccines is a liberal. That's what he means by that. So I need you to understand, like, he's just lying. I mean, like, there's no, why would a liberal join the People's Party? Let's be real. Why the fuck would a liberal join the fucking People's Party? And why and how would liberals become 5 members of the board? If they were 5 members of the board, wouldn't you have known that they were liberals for longer than 20 minutes? Again, it has nothing to do with their politics. It's just they believe in vaccines. Nick Brana is anti-vax.
Opposed the party taking a stance on COVID vaccine mandates, opposing them.
So if the 3 of those members had already reached the conclusion, then why did you not provide that to me when I asked questions? Why did you not provide any evidence that a conclusion had already been presented and that those 3 board members?
Statement. The other members would be happy. You haven't reached out to them. In fact, you never asked me to get in touch with them.
You issued a statement. A statement is evidence. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Did you ask them?
A statement is not evidence.
Speak with them. Did you
ask
to speak with them?
Why would I ask to speak with other board members when there's already multiple board members on the record saying? I'll just read their comments. Colin, if we could go to the first tweet. Regina Clark, one of the board members that was removed. She says that statement was not true. In our special investigative committee meetings, all 3 original members stated that we believed the accuser. When the 3 of us then discussed it with the rest of the partial board, the full board is 10. The partial board was minus you and your father, because obviously you couldn't be in meetings when an investigation into you was discussed. The partial board agreed that actions needed to be taken based on our findings of sexual harassment over Title VII. Later, a 4th person was added to the investigative committee over concerns about the integrity of 2 members of the committee and their communication with Nick Brana. Then you have Thomas Royko, another board member. To be clear, he was not part of the committee investigating you, but he was part of meetings in which the investigation was discussed. He says,
was also one of the ones
I'm not done reading the quote. Yeah, I'm not done reading the quote. Quote, that's not true. Flat out lie as far as I was aware.
Add the context that you have a habit of not adding.
Okay. Quote, that's not true. Flat out lie as far as I was aware. Royko said the statements that he is making is riddled with lies. So there's either they're lying or you're lying, because you're saying the investigative committee already reached a conclusion that there was no merit in the woman's accusation and that it was politically motivated. But you have a member of the special investigative committee saying that's not true, that they did have findings. And we also have a document, Nick, and let's go, Colin, if we can go further down, to the February 19th emergency meeting petition, if you'll allow me to read this. This was sent on February 19th, which was Saturday, so 6 or 7 days ago. It's signed by 5 board members. The title is Emergency Meeting of the Partial Board of Directors National Coordinator Circle. And they, in this, pursuant to Section 9 of the Interim Operating Procedure of the People's Party, also known as Movement for a People's Party, a Michigan nonprofit corporation.
About, just real quick, like, these people take themselves so seriously. Like, keep in mind, this is not a political party, right? Like, they are registered in like 3 or 4 states or something, right? Like they're like all these documents and the petitions and the emergency meetings and like, man, like I gotta say, like, this is a really like good fucking pyramid scheme. I mean, it's really fucking funny.
The undersigned members of the Board of Directors of People's Party, also known as the National Coordinator Circle, and hereon referred to as the Board of Directors, representing at least 40% of all members of the Board of Directors, hereby petition the partial board, minus Nick and Rod, Chair Michelle Ramirez, to convene an emergency meeting of the partial board of directors, minus Nick and Rod, to occur within 24 hours from the partial board chair's receipt of this petition for the limited purpose of reviewing and discussing the recommendations of the special committee investigation into allegations of sexual harassment, improper behavior, and subsequent retaliation by the board chair, Nick Brana. That was Saturday. So how is it that an investigation
that I described?
Wait, I'm not done asking. How is it that there was already a conclusion drawn that there was no merit of the entire 4-person special investigative committee if on Saturday, 5 board members, 2 of them who were part of that special investigative committee, were asking for an emergency next day meeting to make recommendations? You're saying they already concluded there was no merit, they're talking about recommendations to discuss. That doesn't make sense.
They had concluded. And then Jordan, you just read my statement. The answer is in the statement.
Your statement is not evidence. A statement is not, excuse me, a statement is not evidence, Nick.
Oh.
A statement is not evidence.
A statement making accusations against me of sexual harassment is not evidence either. So, Jordan, let me ask you, where is the evidence?
Excuse me.
Where is the evidence?
Nick, no, you're not going to do it.
I'm answering.
I have not reported.
Where is the
Excuse
evidence?
me. I have not reported that you, Nick Brana, have sexually harassed anyone.
Did they provide you with evidence?
Excuse me. That you, Nick Brana, have sexually done anything to anyone. I have, to be clear to the audience, because I did not report details and I did not report whether it's true, whether it's not.
You never will, because they don't exist.
Okay, but Nick,
isn't that at the heart of the
I can't. This is so. Look, okay, you didn't sexually harass anyone. Let's assume that. Okay, Nick Brana is totally innocent. Why would he give any? Like, okay, he's totally innocent. He did nothing wrong. Right? Like, I mean, like, okay, he did nothing wrong at all, and yet, why are you so defensive, man? Like, I mean, okay, and also, like, think about it from this angle, right? Okay, is this how this guy, like, okay, he's the leader of the People's Party, or whatever? Like, this is gonna be, like, your political hero? This is gonna be your savior? Like, this guy, like, imagine if this guy went on, like, fucking mainstream news. Or, like, gave an interview for something. Like, he's not someone you want in front of a camera. Just for, like, the sake of, like, advancing the People's Party agenda. This is like Gary Johnson going, like, on camera, like, in the 2016 election. And going, like, what is Aleppo? And, like, screaming at people about, like, fucking, you know, libertarianism and weed and stuff. Which, I mean, I agree with the weed part. But it was like, you know, like, Gary Johnson was not great at being on camera. This is not someone, if you, like, just... Again, just for the sake of, like, having any power, for the sake of just being a politician, this is not someone you want in front of a camera. Like, I'm just saying, like, even if he was completely innocent, which I don't believe, personally, I don't believe that, right? But let's just assume he is. Why would it, like, this is, any random person who sees this is going to be looking at you going, like, huh? For someone who's innocent, he's really looking guilty, right? It's like, I don't know, man, It's not great. It's not great.
Matter, Jordan?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's why I didn't report it.
You're the journalist.
I report.
Right?
Okay. Nick, I don't know if you realize this because you're not a journalist. If you're going to do a serious investigation into sexual harassment or more, you don't do it in 3 days. So what I reported, which you've confirmed, is you are under internal investigation. That's what I reported. And what I'm reporting now is there seem to be inconsistencies with the process for the removal of board members. I have not reported that you have sexually harassed. In every instance, the word alleged has been used. So you could keep on going on that, you know, this is a liberal woke mob attack on you, but nowhere in my reporting.
Okay. I love that. I'm glad that Jordan picked up on that. The liberal woke mob. The liberal oh my God, that's so good.
Harassed. In every instance, the word alleged has been used. So you could keep on going on that, you know, this is a liberal woke mob attack on you, but nowhere in my reporting has there been anything, specific allegations, or that you are guilty? So, if that's what this is about,
isn't that what's important?
I think it's fairly. I think it's fairly important as a news. I think it's fairly important. I think it's fairly important as a news story that you're under investigation, and that 5 board members were removed abruptly the same exact day that they called for that emergency.
So where's the evidence?
The same exact day. The same exact day.
You don't. Okay.
Nick, you're not asking. You're not asking.
Exactly.
You're not asking.
You don't want to answer the questions.
The same exact. The same.
This is hilarious coming from you.
Like, I just like, but you're not interviewing Jordan Chariton. Why would he answer questions? You're not like again. Let's assume Nick Brana's the most innocent man in the world. He's under attack by the woke mob, right? Like, so we got to. Okay, so there is a woke mob. Right? And they're attacking him. Like, they got torches and pitchforks. Like, they're about to, like, fucking march into that fucking guy's house. The goddamn woke mob. And he's innocent. He didn't do anything, bro. Believe me. Trust me, bro. Why would you give an interview like this? Like, again, like, that's the thing. It's like, this is, if you are innocent, this is not the kind of interview you give. And then even, like, just on a completely different level, again, as far as like advertising the party and making the party look good or bad, you are not going to bring new people into the party with this guy on camera. Like, I'm just saying, like, this is going to bring people away from the party. Like, this is a lose-lose. All right.
Let me ask you.
This is frankly
Nick,
hilarious.
Nick,
You were
let me ask you.
fired from TYT over having your own affair, which you claim you were accused of rape, and you were fired for that. This is unbelievable. I can't let you.
Again, when Jordan has this fucking, when he's face palming, it's incredible. Now again, okay, let's assume, all right, Jordan Chariton is a serial rapist. Let's assume that. That has nothing to do with whether or not you're innocent. Like, this is not like whatever the worst possible version of what Nick Brana is trying to do, right? Like, whatever that worst possible version of his statements has nothing to do with whether or not he's innocent. He's just trying to again throw mud at the wall, and it's incredible.
The same exact. The same.
This is hilarious coming
Nick,
from
let
you.
me ask you.
This is frankly hilarious.
Nick,
you were fired from TYT over having your own affair, which you claim you were accused of rape, and you were fired for that. This is unbelievable. I can't let you. Now
you're trying to spin and deflect
with less credibility to report this. But I suppose your personal friendship.
So again, credibility. This is not like, we're not like predicting sports games. Like, what is the credibility? Like, I'm not like predicting the outcome of like, a fucking, I don't know, the stock market. Like, you're releasing documents and publishing documents that were sent to you. Your credibility is irrelevant in that process. Right? Where's the credibility take place? You're just publishing statements from other people. Their credibility is the one that you would need to attack. You need to attack the members of the People's Party board that you fired. Their credibility is the one that you would need to go after to prove that it was liberal Democrat smears. Jordan is irrelevant. His credibility, let's assume Jordan Chariton he's 100% of the things he's ever said have been lies, and all of his predictions on political events have been wrong. Let's assume that's the case. And he's also just a big dumb idiot, right? Let's just assume that. It's still irrelevant. His credibility is still irrelevant on whether or not these allegations are true, because he is not the source. So what? Right? Like, what? Wait.
Not a source with less credibility to report this, but I suppose your personal friendship with the accuser explains that.
You know what, Nick?
Is this your effort to regain credibility or cachet with the establishment, Jordan?
You know what, Nick?
With Ryan Grimm, are you still seeking that job with The Intercept? Is that why he keeps retweeting everything that you've posted?
No. Okay, so it's a big liberal Democrat woke mob identity politics conspiracy where Ryan Grimm... Why do they hate Ryan Grimm? Can someone tell me, Ryan Grimm, who cares? Like he does, a really horrible show on, a terrible network, right? And maybe sometimes he does a good job on it. I'm not gonna, who cares? He's just a regular journalist guy. Who cares? Why does Jimmy Dore and the people, why do they hate him so much? That's strange. But okay, so Ryan Grimm is secretly in cahoots with the accuser, whoever that is, who's also best friends with Jordan Chariton. What? I don't even what?
With Ryan Grimm, are you still seeking that job with The Intercept? Is that why he keeps retweeting everything that you've posted? The people who are attacking us are the people who have consistently done so. And who work for DNC-aligned and billionaire-funded media, Jordan. Those are the people that you're in league with.
What? I'm just I don't understand. I'm sorry. I just... What? Okay, Jordan Chariton, because he disagrees with me and published another person's statement, is in line with billionaire-funded media and the DNC establishment shills for the woke mob liberal Democrats? What? That doesn't make any sense.
I'll be attacked for this, but I don't really give a damn. I'm ending the interview because this isn't going anywhere. So I honestly went into this trying to be fair, but it was very clear to me that Nick didn't want to actually even listen to interviews, listen to questions. It was very clear to me that Nick had his narrative. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to go through the story. And, you know, I tried to interview Nick. I sent him.
So, all right, there you go. That's really funny, folks. Again, I'm just, you know, I've been very, I'm here, I'm sitting on the sidelines, and I am watching from afar. Like this is a victory lap for me.
Because this is a.
Okay, let's watch this at, you know, let's watch this at 2.25.
I'll be attacked for this, but I don't really give a damn.
Let's watch him shrink.
I'm ending the interview.
There you go. Okay, he just blinked away. All right. So there you go. That's the drama. I'm watching it unfold. I'm watching it unfold live. This is a victory lap, folks, because I've been making fun of these dumbasses for like 2 years, and you know, it's just once again, I have been proven correct. And again, I'm you know, just from a strategical, like, let's assume Nick Brana's innocence is irrelevant, right? All they need to do is convince enough people that he is innocent, right? With that goal in mind, right? Like, you're doing a horrible job, right? Like, it doesn't matter, like, Nick Brana being innocent, whatever, it doesn't matter. Your goal is to convince enough people to support your party and to believe that you're innocent. You're not doing a good job at that. Like, it's not going your way. That was a really bad way of going about that. But you know, I've been enjoying this. So that's the People's Party, Nick Brana, folks. Nick Brana. We all need popcorn every once in a while. And so thank you for indulging me in that.